Hey there, I'm G, and welcome to the next level, and I am here at PAX South here in 2019 in San Antonio, Texas. It's been a wonderful convention so far, but I've got something special for you all today. So I'm here with a gentleman that I've been wanting to talk to for a very long time for a company that I've been a big fan of for the last couple of years. For they are all about keeping games physical, game preservation, supporting the little guy as well as some other larger releases. So today, I'm very proud and honored to have the co-founder of Limited Run Games, Douglas Bogart.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Finally get a chance to talk LRG. So first off, for those of us who don't know what Limited Run Games is, why don't you go ahead and give a quick explanation on what you guys do?
Cool. Limited Run Games is a publisher. We take previously digital-only titles and make physical versions. Our goal is preservation, so you can play games later in the future. And we're, anti-digital. We want to be able to own our games physically, and we like collecting things. So.
Yep, absolutely. I'm all about the physical collecting myself, man. I mean, whether it be old school like the Sega Genesis, or even, which is my favorite console ever, and some of the newer ones like the PlayStation Vita, which is my favorite portable of all time. In fact, I just bought this lovely case here from at PAX South from you guys with my beautiful blue Vita. So,
oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah, I love it. This is actually my third Vita now, because my first 1000 unfortunately stopped charging, but then I got the 2000. Everybody was like, oh well, the 2000 doesn't have as nice of a screen. I'm like, yeah, but this thing has such a larger charge. It's a lot comfort in the hand. It's micro. Exactly. That's a huge thing for me. As I mentioned, I'm a big Vita fan. I'm almost close to a full set. As far as like a US release goes. Almost close to a full set. I'm only missing 2 games from you guys and then 2 other retail releases that came out. When you guys first started on for Limited Run, did you guys predict the kind of fire that came from the Vita community? Like, did you guys predict that it would catch on like it has? Because I noticed like whenever I order games from Limited Run, I mean, I'm sure you know better than I do. Yeah. Like the Vita games, they tend to sell out quick. Like they're the first ones out. Did you really expect that kind of outcome from the community?
No. So when we originally did our first release, which was Breach and Clear on Vita, we only did it because it was the first game as a development company with Mighty Rabbit Studios that we even had on PSN. We were running low on funds, and we were like, hey, let's preserve at least one of our games before we run out of money, and let's see if this new idea called Limited Run does anything. So we put the game on sale to pretty much no marketing. Didn't expect it to sell because at the time everybody was saying it's dumb for you guys to do Vita. Vita's dead. What are you doing? Then it sold out in 108 minutes.
Yep.
We knew right away like this idea is hot, and the Vita community is especially hot, and like really anxious to get more stuff because they felt abandoned. And now here's another publisher coming out saying like, hey, it's okay. We got more stuff coming for you. And it's been really nice. We definitely will never forget that where we started. Like Vita was it.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, the Vita fans, they're a passionate bunch.
Yeah.
They totally are. It's like we might be small, but we're mighty. Like that's for sure. It's like I was talking before about how I found out about you guys from Limited Run. It's like I can't really remember if it was probably through Twitter. But when I remembered seeing that Breach and Clear and seeing you guys mention it, it's like, okay, it's going on sale. I remember taking the time off at work.
Wow.
And sitting down and just like, okay, I'm gonna get this, because it was at that point when I got it and I started seeing some of the more games that you guys were releasing. I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna go for a full set. Wow. Because I think I'm gonna go for a full US set, and so close, but be that as it may, we'll see how much longer as far as physical goes for Vita, but we're in for the long haul, right? Every other releases that you've done for Limited Run, you guys have helped both big and small companies out there. Big releases and small games, I guess I should say. What game release or acquisition would you say that you guys are most proud of?
For the Vita side, it was definitely really cool just to start off right off the bat with our third-party title, Oddworld.
Right.
So I will always kind of owe something to them because they were the first ones to really take a chance on us. So I would say I'm probably most proud of that. I mean, personal favorite is Senran Kagura Bon Appetit for me.
Nice.
That was a game when we started. I was like, this is the game I'm going to sign, and I'm going to bring it to people. And it took a really long time to make it happen, but we were able to do it, and I think everybody's been really happy with it. So, including the creator of the game. So that enough was good for me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I love Senran Kagura personally. It's like, yeah, I know it's a little on the nose for content sometimes, but it's like, hey, the games are great, the anime is great. It's like, there's a lot of fun in it. So when I saw that you guys got Bon Appetit, I was like, ooh, because I had already purchased it digital, but then it's like I saw you guys got it physically, and I was like, that's awesome. That's really awesome. Like, especially I know one of my best friends, like he's a huge Senran Kagura fan. So when I told him that you guys are putting that out, he's like, I'm buying that right now. I'm getting it right now. So yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and then I was going to say also Ray Guy game was big for me.
True.
That was like a game we worked through with Actel and Bandai. So that was a big deal.
Nice.
Thankfully that one wasn't as hard, but surprisingly.
let's talk about, since we're talking about Japanese games kind of in general, let's talk a little bit about the House and Fata Morgana. Because I remember when I watched your E3 release, which was a great show, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
It's like when I watched your E3 release, I was just like, ooh, this looks interesting. So you guys are fully localizing this game. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's the first one that you guys are taking on that language and localization for, correct?
That is correct.
How's that process really going? And are you guys planning on doing any more games of that sort? Because I'm a huge visual novel fan myself.
So originally it was scoped out to be done much later, but with all the Vita drama going on, we realized that we have to speed it up. So it's been kind of hectic lately because trying to get it through certification, make sure the localization was done. Thankfully, the localization was finished a little bit before Christmas. So the hardest part was just making sure it gets through Sony's approval process. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We have a lot of big plans for it. We're hoping that it does really well. It seems like it's on track to do well. There's a lot of hype around it. And working with the developer has been really cool. They're like a really good friend now, and yeah, I just want to make them proud at the end of the day. I just want them to know that like we did everything we could to get this out in America, as well as worldwide since we ship that way. So pretty excited.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I'm excited for that one too. I would actually say too, since you're talking about like the drama with the Vita and everything of what's happening with physical releases starting to fade away over time, has Sony really been, how could I put this? Has Sony really been cooperative as far as the last couple of releases that you've done for the Vita?
Yeah, no, Sony has actually been really great. They helped scoped out our release schedule, and they're willing to work with us up until the deadline. And then what we're going to do is order everything in advance and kind of spread it out through the year. But yeah, they haven't really like done anything difficult wise with us. Like we haven't had to make any weird changes. I mean, there's been a few games here and there where it was like, because of the time, there's just no way to get it out. But other than that, it's been okay.
Okay, good, because I know I wanted to ask that to kind of clear the air, because I know some people have responded like, oh, Sony's trying to kill off the Vita as quickly as they can, and I was just like, I don't think that's really the case. So yeah. Like, that's good. That's definitely good to hear on that. So going into that, do you guys, if you can't talk about it, it's cool. Yeah, do you guys have any big plans for what you're going to do for like your final Vita physical release? Or any tentative ideas?
We had a game we planned to do last. I guess it still could be because we're going to order it in advance. It's a pretty big one with a developer that we really liked, and one of their things was like we'd like to be one of the last ones.
Okay.
And it's Vita exclusive, so that's always good.
Ooh, okay. Vita exclusive.
And then we just have a lot of good stuff still coming out. It's kind of surprising what we still have, like things that are going to surprise people, because people keep thinking like they're probably running out of games to put out, but it's like we keep finding bigger ones that we never thought we would get, and they're suddenly like, yeah, let's do Vita.
Oh yeah, totally. Like there's plenty of other games out there, and going back into the localizations and whatnot, there's one that I kind of personally thought would be awesome if you guys would grab would be, because I know you're working with like larger releases now, Phantasy Star Nova, which is an outstanding game on the Vita that could easily be brought over, but for some reason or another, Sega just decided to pass on it. I don't know why. But something like that would be awesome. So I'm glad to see that you guys are working towards whatever that last release will be.
Yeah.
You know, I'm excited. So, because I remember you guys also said that for those who've actually collected all of the Vita games that have come through towards the end, that there might be a little bit of a surprise or something like that from your E3 video.
Oh yeah, that's still going to be a thing. It's so far off right now. We're still kind of working out the logistics.
Okay.
A lot of people were like, well, I'm missing like a few here and there, so we're trying to find out ways to like make it more available to more people, but not necessarily just some random guy who comes in all of a sudden. Like we want to reward the fans that have stuck with us.
Right. So just look and see. It's like, well, hey, maybe through your purchase history or however. It's like, well, look, you've gotten all these.
You got like a percentage, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, okay, awesome. Let's talk about Best Buy.
Okay.
And talk about Golf Story specifically. So, we actually picked up Golf Story kind of on a whim. I remember the day when I got it, I actually texted my wife, who was in Vegas at the time, because she's always wanted this game. And I was like, hey, do you want Golf Story? She's like, yeah, let's get it. And now that I've seen that, this game, along with Yooka-Laylee, Super Meat Boy, which I just pre-ordered, and I believe Windjammers is coming to Best Buy too? Okay, awesome. I'm sure that's really working out well for you. It's actually kind of surreal going into a Best Buy store and seeing that. I remember, I think somebody on Cheap Ass Gamer actually posted a picture of the marquee, like the actual ad marquee that says limited run games at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so cool. Are there any other plans to release your games in other retailers?
Not at this time, because we really enjoy working with Best Buy. And for me, it's kind of coming full circle. One of my first like jobs was Best Buy.
Me too.
So it's like neat to know that the games are available in stores I used to work at. So yeah, I mean, in the future, maybe more stores, but we definitely have the capacity to do it. We just, right now, it's been really great having something exclusive to another store.
Let's talk about how you guys have shifted over to more of a pre-order process for LRGs. So on a personal note, I remember, and I think I talked to you about this last year, about how sometimes things can happen during pre-orders, whether that's outside of your control, whether it's like either your internet goes out, or maybe in the case of me, I had a problem with PayPal and I had the Darius Burst limited collector's edition in it. And I missed it because PayPal decided, hey, there's something wrong with your account at that end. Thankfully, I was able to get the collector's edition from you guys last year, so thank you for that. How has that pre-order process molded limited run? Like, and it looks like it's something that you guys are really taking and grasping to the whole. So I noticed that games like Celeste are now doing 30-day periods instead of like 14-day periods. How's that really molded limited run?
I think it's helped a lot because it helps our customers combine more shipping. Because if there's a game like Celeste, for example, that's available for an entire month, and we have a couple more releases later, they're able to like wait until everything kind of syncs up when all the planets align, and they can order everything at once. It also gives us a chance to like show a developer that we can't ever have them say like, well, you didn't, our game could have sold more, but you didn't give it a chance. Now we can be like, well, we actually had it for pre-order. Now we have a better gauge, and it also helps us just define better numbers, especially like with collector's editions. We're trying to find the perfect balance to where like there's enough to go around but not stay in stock forever. I've enjoyed it. It's really worked out. It just sucks that we can't do it for everything. Like Vita, for example, there's just no way.
Right, can't. Yeah.
And then PS4, it really just depends on the game because sometimes people just don't care if it's not like limited. So we're just trying to find a good balance and not alienate anybody.
Okay, perfect. That's definitely fair because in that sense, now everybody gets a chance. Night Trap. That was really surreal when I found out that you guys got Night Trap as well. I was like, that's really, really awesome. So I remember, back in the day, the 90s, the console wars, all that stuff. And Nintendo coming around and saying Night Trap will never, ever be on a Nintendo console ever, ever. And now it's coming out for the Switch, or I guess it's out for the Switch, I guess I should say. It's like, now it's out for the Switch. My reaction to that is like, wow, that's something crazy. I just want to know, what was y'all's reaction at the office when you found out that, hey, this is coming to the Switch?
It was pretty surreal. It wasn't even hard to get it on the Switch. It was kind of weird. Like, they was just like, hey, we want to put Night Trap on the Switch. They're like, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, I guess nobody remembered, the 90s, or that, or just Nintendo as a whole has, refocused how they like, are perceived by everybody. So it was really cool. And then like it was kind of a weird balance too, because we don't want to keep calling that out. Because I don't want Nintendo to get mad. Right. Like, oh, we didn't stick to what we said. And I also didn't, I just didn't want to create any drama. But it was cool seeing people say, because it is one of those things like they did say it would never be there, and here it is. And it's like a history moment.
Exactly.
It was really exciting. It did really, really well. It was our third best-selling Switch game right now.
Oh, nice. What if you don't mind me asking now, I'm curious, like, what are your highest?
Our highest Switch games right now are Celeste and Ukulele.
Ukulele, of course. I still need to pick up Ukulele myself. As somebody who's more akin than the retro, I don't really get a chance to play some of the larger AAA games. So it's like, this year I'm going to focus a lot more on indie, which of course falls into you guys and a lot of your indie releases. Have there been any games on the show floor that you've seen so far that really, really stuck? Like, what are some of your favorite games you've seen on the floor?
So PAX is interesting because a lot of the booths are people that are always at PAX. So it does kind of hurt. Sometimes it's not as easy to find new games because it's usually the same games again. But then you do get like a lot of games you've never seen before. At South, it's a little trickier because it is a smaller show. For South, though, I really liked a game called Forsaken Castle. Is that what it's called?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It was a very Castlevania style game. I thought that one looked really neat.
I remember seeing that one last year, and it looked really cool. So, and as you said, these games, they take time to develop. So yeah, you're absolutely right. As this is now my 5th year going to PAX South, and you start seeing the same games. Like, I think this is the 3rd year for Just Beats and Shapes.
Yep.
And it's
That's a game I really want.
That would be awesome.
It's also just Shapes and Beats.
Shapes and Beats, correct. Thank you. Thank you.
Night in the Woods is here. I really like that game. That's one I really want to do. Another release that I think is the second time I've seen it here was Anne, A-N-N-E.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's a really cool game. You should check it out. It's one that I like. It's been in development for a long time.
Okay.
So I need to follow up with them and see like where they're at. There's a lot of other cool, really neat games, but a lot of them are very PC focused.
Okay.
So it would be a little harder to port. But it is really cool just as someone who like seeing this and seeing like how far technology is going.
Nice, yeah, exactly. And of course, Toe Jam and Earl is here too, which you guys are putting out. And so I'm so excited about that. It's
the response to that booth has been big. So
it has, it has. Like that was one of the first things I did when I came here. I went to that booth and they were like packed to the brim. So it's awesome. You hear that music walking through, it's just like,
yeah, they got those funky beats.
Yep, exactly. So, speaking of Toe Jam and Earl and Sega and whatnot, of course, like I'm a huge Sega fan. Of course, G to the next level. Welcome to the next level. I also heard that you're a big Sega fan as well.
Yeah, my co-founder Josh and I, our favorite console is the Dreamcast.
Nice.
So we spent a lot of our childhood playing that together, and we still play it to this day. Like we, bust it out and just play something random. It's a big deal to us. We're huge Sega fans just in general.
As somebody like me who is a big Sega and Sonic fan myself.
Yeah.
But speaking of Sonic too, real quick question. Freedom Planet.
Oh yeah, that's another game I really want to do. All I can say is maybe. We're working on it, trying to. Nothing official to announce yet, but it's definitely one we've been interested in since we started.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet, sweet. Favorite Sega game, favorite Sega console, and favorite franchise.
Okay, so Dreamcast, Phantasy Star Online.
Nice.
And then franchise, ooh. That one's tough because it feels like it changes a lot. It used to be like Final Fantasy, then it was the Yakuza series.
Which is incredible, by the way.
Resident Evil was a big one for me. So and then Fallout, except for recently. So yeah, it's a lot of them. I guess classically it would just be Final Fantasy.
Excellent.
Yep.
Good choice. What's your favorite Final Fantasy game?
Well, the first one that really introduced me was still 7. I had played the older ones, but how old was I? I was still in like elementary school when they came out, so it was a little bit harder for me to get into them. I like them a lot now. But yeah, I would say it's 7 just because nostalgia-wise.
Okay,
because like I bought a PlayStation just so I could play that.
So many people did. I still remember when I pre-ordered Final Fantasy 7 and they gave me that shirt with Cloud on the back of it.
Oh wow.
Unfortunately, don't have it anymore. But yeah, good times, man. My favorite's 9. Like I love Final Fantasy 9. It's like the story and the characters. But yeah, that's an excellent choice. Especially my favorite is the Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Oh, okay.
But my favorite game, well, my favorite franchise would be Sonic the Hedgehog. My favorite Genesis game is Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, okay.
So how excited are you guys for Streets of Rage 4?
Really excited. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a sick game, so I can't wait. Thanks for coming on, Douglas. I really appreciate you coming out today. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
You can find us on limitedrungames.com. You can follow us on Twitter at limitedrungames. I think we even have a Tumblr for some reason. And then a bunch of other places. Our booths, we're at a lot of conventions. You can reach out to us and tell us if you want us to come to yours. So yeah, we really try to actually talk with the fans.
All right, excellent. And of course, you can find me at G to the Next Level, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, folks, please let me know by leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't yet. And for Douglas Bogart, I'm G, and I'll see you on the next level.